to take me off your list, I guess. I guess I'm doing some sort of thing here. I want to tell people really quick that I have attempted to throw a crazy event, go to market summer camp. I've got Zach Barney here, founder of Mobley, and we're going to talk about event marketing for a second. Zach's going to give me the hard truths here because I've been throwing and promoting this and learning the struggles of being an event person. And Zach knows the truth. How many events do you guys do?
We do probably 50.
50 events? Like, I know you do. So I've come to one of your event universities, which are great.
Yeah.
How many of them are yours versus conferences you sponsor?
Most of them are ones that we sponsor. We've done our event marketing university a few times here in Utah. We've done a road show. I did one in Arizona, one in Chicago, but the bulk of everything is either us exhibiting at an event, speaking at events, so forth, or at least walking the floor and being there to support our customers who are exhibiting. If it's like an industry where it doesn't make sense for us to have a booth, but it does make sense for us to engage with all of the sponsors and exhibitors and support customers, we'll go.
So the neat part that's a little sneaky about your whole thing is that you guys could technically sell to every person that has a booth at a conference, right?
And technically sell to anybody that sells B2B and does any sort of face-to-face interaction. Yeah.
All right. For people that don't know at home, do you want to tell people really quick why they would use Mobley?
Yeah, absolutely. Imagine if Salesforce or HubSpot were built for in-person interactions versus being used on a laptop. About 30% of all sales activity happens face-to-face, and that number is growing due to AI fatigue and just traditional, phone and email channels, as you know, because you're solving this problem as well, just not working as much anymore. So a lot of companies are going back to what used to work, which would be direct mail and in-person events, field sales, and so forth. Unfortunately, that space has not been modernized like everything else. And so Mobley is modernizing it. We've got universal lead retrieval applications. You can follow up with your contacts within our app and have the activity actually log back to your CRM. We're the system of record for in-person.
And every single interaction that you have with someone. My favorite part that I saw when I've been demoed on Mobley is you don't need a badge scanner anymore, right?
You don't. Nope.
How does that work? What's the voodoo magic? What are you doing?
So, Ryan, have you seen Anchorman?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, right? Yeah. So one of my favorite scenes is the Sex Panther cologne scene, where 60% of the time it works every time. That's my feeling about badge scanners, because there are so many little things that can cause a finicky little badging system to break, whether it be Wi-Fi or maybe it's just a small micro event like the summer camp, right? Where you're not going to invest a bunch of money to get a badging system with QR codes and things like that for 50, 100 people. So the way we architected Mobley was we wanted people to literally be able to use us anywhere where they just have their phone in front of them, they can use Mobley. What that means is we have to find a different way to capture leads other than scanning a QR code or a little NFC chip. So instead, we use a technology called optical character recognition. Same thing used in like a mobile check deposit for any of those people out there that still have physical checks, right? Basically, you snap a photo of a badge or a business card. We read the image, convert it to text, and then enrich the data. If there is no badge or business card, you don't even have to do that. You can just type in a person's name and contact in, or name and company name, and we'll still enrich and pull the contact information, which is really useful in 2025, given how few people actually carry business cards. So yeah. That's us.
You know what pirates call that? They call it OCR.
OCR. Yep.
It's a bad joke. It's a bad joke. Don't make fun of me, people.
It's a
Look, I don't have
great
children.
joke.
I need a venue to do dad jokes because I don't have children. Like, this is my only spot. So this is it. In fact, in a lot of ways, I think Zach's kind of like a father figure to me. We're gonna have a catch after this.
We're basically the same age, man.
I know. I don't
happen
think
to
that
have
works out.
kids.
Yeah, and well, and you can grow a sweet mustache and facial hair. I can't. Okay. So what's working for events this year? Events are back, right?
Yeah.
You're telling me that events are back now. How do you attack an event effectively so that you're not wasting your money?
The biggest thing is not treating it like a branding play or a defensive play where we have to be there for our customers. That's the biggest cop-out excuse that I've heard so many times in my life. You have to go in with a plan and a strategy. And the absolute biggest thing that you need to plan around is how you are going to quickly follow up with your people that you meet. Not just your net new leads, but your open opportunities, your current customers, potential partners, potential hires. Like, those are all of the types of people that you can interact with at an event. You need to have a very systematized rope process down to action on that quickly. Because unfortunately, when you're at an event, there's a lot of noise. People are talking with a lot of people. You might have competitors at the same event. And the lead that you scan is not going to remember you if it takes you 11 days like it does the average company just to follow up with. So what's working is people being absolutely just process-driven Nazis when it comes to their lead follow-up and not letting things slip through the cracks, just operating as efficiently as they would a digital channel.
And just to clarify, Zach is not telling you that you need to be an event Nazi. Just for, if you want to cancel Zach, you can a little bit, but he's not saying, he's just saying you need to be really.
I'm not saying you should be a bigot. No,
that's right. That's right. And we just wanted to
absolutely
clarify
not.
I'm going to cut it so it says that. You're like, be a bigot. I'm like, whoa. Okay. So let's say I go sponsor a big conference. I actually think that one of the things that I love to like to treat events almost like a practice. Like, it matters because you're gonna make money out of it. But I almost like to almost soft launch campaign ideas at an event.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna treat this event, I'm gonna attack it instead of being like, I gotta go to Chicago and set up a booth. This is gonna suck. Like, I like to be like, cool. What's a fun campaign that I could do here that's creative and stands out before the event, during the event, and after the event that fits everything together? And if it works, you can go full blown and do it like out on the internet afterward. That's kind of like the testing lab, because where else are you going to get many repetitions in front of customers and see what they think of something you do? Right?
Yep. Absolutely. It's a great way to get feedback, and it's going to be a lot less filtered because you can read body language and eye contact and actually get the real stuff, not somebody that's just like pouring some sugar on it to make it be a little bit less painful to get the feedback.
I remember one time when I was at Dine, we had this idea at a booth that we were doing. We were like sponsoring like a conference, and we were going after a lot of network engineers and stuff. And we had this idea that like we were just going to get a bunch of people to wear mullet wigs. So we just got everybody to wear mullet wigs, and like we brought a bunch of them to give away to people too, just to have something silly that they would do. Like we set up a photo booth at our conference, and of course the plan was person takes picture with the mullet wig, picture instantly got pushed onto a laptop, and we followed up with them and emailed them with a picture of them with the mullet right away, right into their whole inbox. You know what sucks though? We had to have a person full-time come to the event and do that the whole time. They couldn't have a good time or do anything because there was no technology back then to do that. Yeah. So but our whole thing was like, we were talking about making your back end fun. And that was like the whole like gimmick with the mullet, but like it was a great event and we got a lot of ROI out of it. But that's an example of not mailing it in. Other companies would be like, oh, Dine's going to be there, so I need to go set up. I'm a managed DNS provider. I need to have a booth too. And they'll just do like a demo and key, what do you call it? Key turn, like normal turnkey.
Turnkey. There we go.
Turnkey normal conference, like booth. You're missing out on an opportunity to do something cool and fun that will actually get your marketing team not bored at their life and want to actually do something cool.
Absolutely.
So following up afterward, what can you do? Is it jump right into meeting? Is it reply back? It's like, what do you do? What's the right CTA to do when you get someone?
So one of the biggest cop outs I've ever heard is you need to wait, and it's best practice to wait a week so that people have time to get back into the groove of things before you follow up. That's absolute baloney. For the reasons I talked about earlier, like people get busy and it gets noisy. You need to follow up ASAP. So one of my mentors and investors and friends, he talks about making sure that people are as far down the funnel as possible at the event. When you have the opportunity, like skip as many steps in that process as possible. Don't scan their lead and say, hey, I'll follow up with you, right?
Yeah.
Scan their lead, book the next step demo. Do the demo on the floor. Ask them if they want a contract, if you can sell transactional type deals. Like assume more and push it as far as you possibly can. If you're meeting somebody face to face and looking them in the eye, I am a big proponent of texting as well. That's why we built that into our platform, where I could, have a good conversation with you. Maybe I lose to you in an arm wrestling contest at that Lead IQ booth back in the day.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I
was like, someone else did that? Then you're like, oh, it's that. I'm like, oh yeah.
But then say they want to follow up with you, right? Shoot you a text message and be like, hey, dude, congrats on the win. I'm going to start pumping iron and beat you next year. Like, make it more personal and follow up now so that I don't come across as the same exact person as all of the other 50 people that scan that person's badge.
I'll never forget the first time that I really got to know Zach. We both sponsored a similar event. I think you were working at Team at that point, and I was working at Lead IQ. And at the end of the day, I was like, we were just chit chatting. I'm like, hey, how'd it go? Like, how's the event and stuff? He's like, oh, great. We got like 15 meetings today. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, no one leaves our booth without a calendar, like being booked. The next day we did that. And we literally had 3 times as many meetings the second day because you gave us that tip. And that's why I'm like, I was just blown away at this whole lifestyle. And now it's kind of a philosophy with your events. Zach, what about field stuff? So you guys have been doing field events too. Like you did a road show in Arizona. How do you get people there? Like, are you hosting, or are you doing it with other sponsors and just cross promoting, or like how do you guys actually fill seats there?
Sponsors are a big part of it. Yeah. When we do our smaller field events or sidecar events, whatever, like we try to do them in tandem with a bigger thing, so people have a reason to be there already. Like, we're not a huge known entity yet. We don't have massive followings. We're not celebrities. So let's lean on somebody else's celebrity, somebody else's big following to help attract the eyeballs and get people interested. Remember when we at Inbound a few years ago, we did the ping pong tournament, right? Like, so many people were in town for Inbound.
That was crazy. We were like sold out.
Yeah, had like 100 people there, and it was easy. It was cheap. It was literally because we made it convenient for people, and since they were already there for an event, and made it something fun that they want to do. If if I'm trying to like do a startup user conference or whatever, and I'm still relatively small, then the other thing I can do outside of like sponsors and partners, which we did really well with at that ping pong thing, is get big names that people will pay to see, and like fork out the money for the 1 or 2 big name people that your audience will feel like they missed out if they didn't get there. Like I've gone to events before across the country back in the day, when I was in AE, simply because Simon Sinek or Gary Vee were keynoting, and I just wanted the opportunity to hear from them in person, and then everything else that happened around it was all ancillary. I felt like it was a great event because I got to hear from these thought leaders face to face, and it's an investment that you kind of got to make.
We definitely, so for people watching this, one of the reasons we're doing this is I'm trying to throw this go-to-market summer camp, but we're trying to get the word out and have more people know about it. But I doing this event for the first time, I've tried to get a bunch of people that were speaking, and it's such a weird timeline for it because Inbound's the week before, and there's another event the same week. Like it's just like kind of sandwiched in. So I think another thing is if you're going to throw your field event, make sure you pick a time where like it's not too crowded and the speaker pipeline is actually pretty available.
Yeah. I think that's super critical as well. Like I've been to, like, there are some events that happen like the same week as Inbound or Dreamforce, which is like, if you're trying to sell to marketers or RevOps professionals, you're not going to get them. You're not going to get them unless it's a massive company that has enough people and resources to send them to multiple places. So yeah, I would agree there.
Yeah. So I don't know if this will turn into something because we want to make sure that this is breezy and quick and giving some people some tips. Are there any other tips you'd recommend, Zach, before we wrap up on events and like what you can do to like get the most ROI out of your field and events programs?
Yeah, I would say get the data systematically into where it needs to be as quick as possible. Not just to follow up, but have actual records of that follow-up happening. So the fact that you guys at Dine had a physical in-person doing it, that's great, man. Like, it's not super scalable.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work eventually. Like when we went to the bigger conferences, it got too crazy to do. I'm trying to
at the same time, like think about all of the leads that would have been lost because a salesperson put a business card in their pocket and then their pants went through the wash, or they just fell at the bottom of their backpack, or sat on their desk gathering dust for 6 months and then they decided to clean off their desk and threw it away. Like, there's so many times where that happens. So you need to develop a process. Again, why Mobley exists. But if you don't use Mobley, that's fine too. Just like develop a process to where your team all knows that we are putting leads into our marketing automation or our CRM the exact same format every single time. And there are no exceptions. You don't get to own the lead if it's not in Salesforce. You don't get to get credit for the pipeline creation unless it's in Salesforce and it has to be in by this day. Like, make the rules and be strict about it, and you'll piss some people off. But like, you can't measure what, or you can't manage what you don't measure, right? You can't iterate and make improvements and know whether or not it's good if you're just going off of warm fuzzies. Like, you have to go off of actual real data. So you have to start with collecting it.
And the fact that there's actually software that can do that now is amazing. I'll tell you one more horror story. You can use this, Zach, for marketing if you want. This would be good for you.
Okay, let's do it.
We actually did a conference out in Ireland. There used to be a thing called the Web Summit. It was like a huge tech event in like Ireland and Dublin. And we sponsored it every year. And we'd have a box of business cards at the end of the week from people. And what would happen is they'd take that box, put it with all the booth stuff, and ship it back with the booth from Ireland to our office in New Hampshire. And I remember they lost the box and we lost all our business cards for almost 3 weeks. It went to the wrong office that Dine had. We had an office in San Francisco, and it sent it to the San Francisco office instead. And then it got sent to a warehouse that we store all our stuff that we were using. Long story short, I didn't get to some of the Web Summit leads till 4 or 5 weeks later, and they had already forgotten about us and taken meetings with other vendors.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
Speed to lead is huge. All right. Well, everyone, I just wanted to do some content about event stuff and plug the camp for a second. If you're not doing anything and you have a marketing team, and you just want to get away from your office for a couple days and do all your planning in 2026, I've gotten a ton of really cool talks. Zach's going to talk to us about event and field marketing. You should go get a bed. Go register to go to Market Camp. There is a possibility that I will allow you to throw water balloons at me if you go. So that's the tease. You can do it. That's right. This hair will get wet and it will never dry off. Trust me. But that's the possibility that I'm promising you. Anyway,
how many chances do people get to go to New Hampshire? Like, yeah. If they're checking off all the states they've been to, New Hampshire, I guarantee is one of the few that they've not been to.
You know, it's surprising. It's like, we're like the Diet Coke of Utah's mountains. So like, we have mountains, we have beautiful lakes. The water's really clean. You don't have to worry about traffic. There's almost no traffic here. It's incredible. Like, And you're not that far from like a million different airports. You can fly in from Portland. You can fly in from Burlington, Vermont. You could fly in from Boston. Or Manchester, New Hampshire even has an airport. That's honestly probably the easiest one to do.
To be clear, for those of us that aren't from New England, Portland, Maine, do not fly into.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just kind of the origin of this thing is a couple of years ago. I just had this idea of like, oh, I'd really like to go to summer camp with a bunch of these people that I'm making friends with in tech, and so like, this is kind of a good way to get all your planning out for 2026. Have you and Aaron done any planning for 2026 yet on your marketing stuff?
We had a call about an hour ago with one of the events that I'm speaking at in March. So
see, it's coming. You got to get to it.
It's crazy. It's coming fast, and I realize how behind the 8 ball I am for a lot of these things. So like, yeah, we need your speaker talk track and your deck by November 1st. We're like, oh, I guess I should figure out what I'm speaking about.
The hardest part, I think, about being founders and like, we're supposed to be looking next year, not right now. And that's super hard to do, but you like
execute and
you got to make time for it. Yeah. If you're a marketer watching this, trying to get some tips on event marketing, you should be doing the same thing. September's not too late. Luckily, I think if we were doing this in October, November, it would probably be, but you really got to start mapping out what you want to do for next year for marketing. So hit us back. We'll give you some of those answers and stuff. Worst case scenario, we'll continue to make content together because I love talking to you, Zach. You're one of my favorite people. So thank you for this. If you're interested, go to marketcamp.com and go check out Mobley. What's the Mobley domain?
Getmobley.com or mobley.ai.
Whoa. Well, oh, I was going to ask you this. Do you guys have AI stuff going into the product yet? Oh, he did the whisper. He did the Larry Bird whisper.
A little bit. Yeah. Right now, mobley.ai just redirects to getmobley.com. So it's just a little bit easier to remember, but stay tuned.
All right. Thank you very much. And thanks for being on, Zach. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right,
man. Pitchfire!